With 24 racers at once, Mario Kart 9 has the opportunity to have one of the biggest rosters ever, and we've already talked about all the crazy characters they could have. In fact, it was a video of over like 170 different characters, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. But today we're talking about what if every single one of those characters actually had alts. Now, we're not going through all 170 possible characters that they could add, that would be just an insane video. But instead, we're looking at all the characters that we can confirm for the game already for what we've seen in that little snippet of gameplay, and this is pretty much what we come down to. The only one that's kind of on the question block here is Dry Bones, because I felt like in the scene I still saw him. I'm still not 100% sure, but for the sake of this video, we'll add him. This seems to be the base roster so far, so we'll be looking at alts for all of these different characters. There's a lot of characters to get through still, so let's not waste too much time. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video, and let's dive into all the character alts we could get in Mario Kart 9. Now, let's start off with Mario, but before we get started, a lot of these costumes can be based off of Mario Kart Tour, so I'm not going to talk about every Tour costume. Let's just, think that maybe Nintendo will bring some of those over, and just new costumes altogether that don't necessarily have to be themed after anything in Mario's history. But for today's video, I'm mostly focusing on things that it can actually represent from past games. So for Mario, you could have an 8-bit sprite version of Mario, maybe a Sunshine version that gives him the shades and the button-up Sunshine shirt. We have his wedding variant from Super Mario Odyssey and his construction variant from Mario Maker, which both appeared in Super Smash Bros. You could have him be all gold or any of the items instead of making item Marios separate characters like Tanuki Mario and Cat Peach. Just make any item that changes Mario's look an actual alt, and I think that would work fine. He could have any of his sports outfits as well, and any of the Odyssey outfits, which there are a ton. So literally coming up with alts for Mario would be super simple. What about his brother Luigi? Well, he could also have like an 8-bit sprite version. The Luigi's Mansion version would be really cool, which actually allows him to have his Poltergust, or maybe some of the DLC costumes from Luigi's Mansion 3 would be awesome as well. Like there was a disco one and the mummy one. That'd be pretty funny. Maybe even Mr. L referenced from Super Paper Mario, which would be a cool stretch. And some sports costumes for him as well. You could also have Gooigi, which is a green goo form of Luigi from Luigi's Mansion 3. Construction Luigi also works, as he appeared in Mario Maker in that same way, and items with costumes the same way as Mario would work as well. Thanks to Princess Peach Showtime, she actually has a lot of options now. Princess Peach can have any of the costumes from Showtime, which is like 10 different costume transformations, so yeah, she can definitely look a whole lot different here. We also have Odyssey vacation outfits, where she actually traveled around the different kingdoms at the end of the game with different outfits, which any of these would be cool to return to Mario Kart. I believe Mario Kart Tour even brought some of these back. You could have Wedding Peach, any of the items from the games, so that way we don't have Cat Peach as a playable character that's separate from Peach. We also have Peachette that she could possibly turn into. Yes, I know it's technically Toadette that turns into Peachette, but still, it looks more like Peach. It'd work better as her alt instead of Toadette's alt. We also have Princess Shroob. Maybe she can have a costume inspired by Princess Shroob or something like that would be really cool, or maybe just some type of classic sprite of Peach. If they really wanted to reference something cool, they could also do like a Shadow Peach as well from Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door's ending. Daisy would be a lot harder. You'd have to pull mostly from Mario Kart Tour and just, custom costumes made for the game. So I think the only real thing you could pull from is some of the sports games, but besides that, yeah, you're just gonna have to come up with original costumes for Daisy. The same thing for Rosalina, more tour costumes or some sports references. You can also have a Cosmic Rosalina from Super Mario Galaxy 2, where she's all blue and cosmic-y, if that's even a word, or some type of item transformations for Rosalina, because we know she has like a cat suit, even a boomerang suit, so maybe those item transformations can be alts and not characters. I'm looking at you, Cat Peach. Birdo is kind of difficult as well. You could just bring back the different colors. Maybe it allows us to make custom colors or like the certain hue that we want, and like a little hue slider would be really cool. But they could also do like a Super Mario Bros. 2 sprite where she kind of looks a lot different back then, so maybe something like that, like a classic version. Yoshi's kind of in the same boat with the color thing, but also has Boshi from Mario RPG they could add, or maybe even Woolly World or Crafted World form of Yoshi, giving him kind of a felt look. So any of those could be pretty cool, but that's pretty much about it, unless they wanted to pull from like Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door and give you the Yoshi Kid model, but that would be a little smaller than normal Yoshi, so who knows. Back to the Woolly World model. If they decide to go that route, there's so many different color schemes and even character-specific alts for that Woolly World Yoshi that was actually in the game based on the amiibo that you scanned and what you collected, so they could really do some crazy colorways with Yoshi. Toad, once again, would just have the colors. Maybe they could do some members of like the Toad Brigade, which like the only unique one is the one with glasses, but you also have Captain Toad. You could even throw Toadsworth in there as a replacement there, or even Toadbert could have a crazy reappearance. That would be weird and a crazy reach, but I would love it. You could also have items or power-up versions versions of Toad. You could have classic sprites or maybe even construction Toad from Mario Maker, or now with the newly added Super Mario Bros. Wonder, we could have the Poplins, which are like these different looking toads from a different region, but they're pretty much just toads, so that would work as well. Koopa Troopa, believe it or not, has a ton of options. Outside of just different colorways, you could have the Odyssey versions with the backwards hats that would race Mario. You could have Paper Mario designs like the partners of Koops and Cooper, or maybe even Koopa Trolls, or even the Shade versions from the Thousand Year Door. And you could even have Paratroopas. I mean, seriously, he has a lot of alt options, and I think Nintendo should definitely capitalize on them. We're seeing the Blue Shell Paratroopa from the Mario movie actually making a first game appearance, and especially in Mario Kart would make so much sense. That would be awesome as well. For Shy Guys, you can have the different colors return, but also have the Sniffets make an appearance. I mean, they're literally just Shy Guys with a different mask, so throw them in there as an alt, and they can have different colors as well. Or you can have the Spear Guys from the Yoshi's Island series, or maybe even the Ninja Guys that appear on Ninja's Hideaway, so you could just have different costumes or just outfits, and maybe just, you know, unique version of outfits for the game specifically, or maybe even Pedal Guys from Yoshi's Island can make a return as well. Lakitu is a little difficult. I don't know how much you could do. Maybe one built off of Lakalester from Paper Mario 64, or maybe some type of classic sprite version, or just custom character costumes from Mario Kart Tour. I don't really know. Toadette could have Captain Toadette, of course, that makes sense, and maybe just some item transformation versions of her. Everything else would be custom to that game. You already know what I'm about to say with King Boo. Bring his Luigi's Mansion alt over. It's literally in Mario Kart Tour already. I think it's so much better than his main series version. Just please give us that version. They could even give us a Sunshine version if they wanted to give us a wacky form of King Boo, but we definitely need Luigi's Mansion King Boo. Nintendo, please watch this. Next up, we have the babies, and this is probably one of the harder ones as well because they're babies. They don't really have anything to go off of. For Baby Mario, you could go the Yoshi's Island route and just give him the diaper, maybe even the cape when he becomes like Super Baby Mario. Or what you could do is what I want to do for most of the babies is have the mini toy versions from Mario vs. Donkey Kong, because a lot of them do have toy versions. Or maybe you could just do other small creatures that actually match the baby's, you know, kind of size. It'd be weird, but just hear me out. So for Baby Luigi, you could have Polterpup, since he's like a little ghost dog that could match Baby Luigi's skin and model. You could obviously have the mini toy Luigi. For Baby Peach, you can use Stella from Princess Peach Showtime, or maybe just the mini toy Peach. For Baby Daisy, I really don't know. There's not a lot to pull off here. I don't even think she has a mini toy version, so maybe they could make one just for the sake of the game. For Baby Rosalina, you could maybe even use a Luma, or mini Rosalina toy as well would work there. Honestly, if you ask me, all the babies should just be alts. I know some of them have actual alts in Mario Kart Tour, but I would just make every single baby an alt of Baby Mario, honestly. For Wario, you can use his WarioWare variant. I think he also just got a new kind of vacation outfit from the new WarioWare, so that would work. Or any of his disguises in Master of Disguise, where they give him tons of different costumes, like a dinosaur and even an astronaut. You could also go the sports games again. You can do Wario Man from the WarioWare series, and even Zombie Wario if you wanted to from the Wario Land franchise. Waluigi can just pull from the different sports costumes and also his Mario Kart Tour costumes and just come up with creative, unique ones for him. Donkey Kong clearly has a new look, but maybe we can switch between them. The kind of modern look that we had today and this kind of classic retro new look that they're trying to enforce, like the movie version. But what if we could also have Funky Kong as just a skin? I know some people would probably get mad at that, but I just thought of it as an option. Maybe like Chunky Kong as well could work, or any of the Kongs that probably wouldn't make it as original characters. Or maybe they just take all the monkeys from Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, like all the main bosses, and just actually make those alts for Donkey Kong, or he dresses like them, or you could just give him unique game-specific outfits. Bowser has a lot of options as well if they dig deep into some past games. You could just have Dry Bowser finally as an alt, which makes too much sense. You could have Meowser as an alt from Mario 3D World, or even Fury Bowser from Bowser's Fury would be really cool. He just wouldn't be as big, he would just be covered in that black ink. And you could have Wedding Bowser from Super Mario Odyssey. If you have Wedding Mario and Wedding Peach, you gotta have him in there as well. And even Dark Bowser from Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story would be awesome. You could have different sports variants as well, or maybe even classic 8-bit sprites of Bowser. If they really wanted to get crazy, we can even do Popple and Rookie version of Bowser from Superstar Saga, or even Bowletta, which is interesting. I doubt that would ever happen, but you could also even maybe do the new version of Bowser, which is Glom Bowser from Brothership, would be really cool to see as well. For Dry Bones, we can have more color alts again, maybe some referencing from the past Mario and Luigi games, and if that's the case, you can also do the Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door versions of these Dry Bones creatures, which would be pretty cool, and you could even do Parabones by just giving him a pair of wings. Bowser Jr. could have a Shadow Mario alt, although that would technically probably just go to Mario based on the skin and the actual frame of it. You could have a Mario Wonder version of Bowser Jr., which could be pretty cool, or even a Meowser version of Bowser Jr., which you actually get, I believe, after 100% completing Bowser's Fury, could be awesome as well. You could have all the Koopalings simply be alts of Bowser Jr., which would make a lot more space in the roster. You could have Koopa Kid return as an alt, which comes straight from Mario Party, and you could have a Woolly World / Crafted World version of Bowser Jr. as well, more felt filling. And last but not least, of course, we have Pauline, and she could have different sports outfits, maybe her classic version from the old Donkey Kong game, or maybe a suit from Super Mario Odyssey that she wears the majority of the game when she's not performing, and then she has tons of tour alts and probably ones that they'll make custom for this next game. And that's all the alts I could possibly think of for all the confirmed characters. There's probably even more that I'm not even thinking of that could be alts for some of these characters, so if you find even more, let me know. Either way, I think alts would be a great way to extend the playtime and just the collection for players in Mario Kart. Imagine being able to collect all these different costumes by either collecting coins and purchasing them in shops, or doing weekly challenges kind of like Mario Kart Tour had, or like weekly tournaments or stuff to unlock these costumes. That would be really cool and keep people engaged for the entire time frame that Mario Kart 9 is out on Switch 2. So hopefully they are cooking up something like this, and that would be amazing. But thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know your ideas down below. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.